Hello and welcome to this new fun DevOps project. In this project, we are creating a playlist of all your favorite songs on Spotify using Terraform. Terraform is a popular infrastructure as code tool used to create resources in the cloud, but it can also be used to manage Kubernetes, Gitlab, and many other DevOps tools. But in this project, we are using Terraform to create playlists on Spotify, a very popular streaming platform. Throughout this project, you're going to learn many Terraform concepts like what is provider, how Terraform code works, what are modules, what is data block, and lot more. So make sure you watch this video till the end. Let's start. Alright, so I'm here on my computer screen and we are ready to start with our Terraform project. As discussed, in this project we are creating Spotify playlist using Terraform. This is an example. This playlist is created using Terraform, and by the end of this video you will also learn how to create Spotify playlists on Terraform. But before we start this project, there are some prerequisites or tools you need to install to complete this project. First thing you need to have is Terraform to be installed in your local machine. I already have Terraform installed, and to show you that, I'm going to run the command terraform-v. This command shows that Terraform is installed and the version is 1.7.4. If you don't have Terraform installed, you can go to the Terraform official documentation or search for terraform/io/downloads, and you will be taken to this page where you can install Terraform for Mac OS, Windows, Linux, FreeBSD, anything. I already have it installed. If you don't have it, install it so that you can do this project. Along with Terraform, you will also need to have Docker, because we are going to be running a Docker container which will help us do the authentication for this Spotify account. Next, we also need a Spotify account. I already have my account here. You don't need a premium one for this project. You can also use the free Spotify account. Along with this, you also need a Spotify developer account, and I will show you how to do this, so you don't need to worry if you don't have a Spotify developer account. We will be using a Spotify provider, and in the video I will show you how you can use it. Along with all these things, you also need a VS Code editor to write down Terraform code. So these are some prerequisites you require to complete this project. Now that we have discussed this, let's start with creating the project. A very important note before we start this project. To help you complete this project without any issues, I have this Notion document created which includes all the steps along with screenshots to help you complete this project without any problems. If you want me to share this document with you, let me know in the comment section. Comment down Terraform project and I will share this document as a PDF or link in the video description. So comment down and let's start. For this project, I have already created a folder and also opened in my VS Code. Inside this folder, we are going to be creating files that will help us create playlists on Spotify. So the name of the folder is Spotify TF. In this folder, I'm going to create the first file, which is provider.tf. So for Terraform to create resources on AWS, Azure, GCP, or create playlist on Spotify, we need to define them as a provider. So we need to define Spotify as a provider. Let me show you the list of providers that Terraform has. So if I search for providers and Terraform, you will see the long list of all the different providers that are used by Terraform. So you can create infrastructure on AWS. So AWS is a provider. Similarly, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, Alibaba, and a long list of 4,353 providers that Terraform has. For now, we are going to be creating playlists on Spotify, so we need Spotify as a provider. Let's see if the provider is available or not. So I'm going to search for Spotify here, and there are different types of providers. You have official provider, partner provider, community provider. We are going to be using this Spotify provider, which is created by a person named as Conrad. I hope I'm pronouncing the right name. And this is a community provider. So we are going to be using this. To use this provider, you need to click on this use provider option here. And I'm going to copy the code, paste it here in my VS Code. So this is a Terraform block which is used to define the version of the provider. Right now the version is 0.2.7 and the source is the person who created it / the name of the provider. Inside this, we need to pass some configuration options. So if you click on documentation here, you can read more about the provider. So in this provider, we have resource and data sources. Along with the provider, you also need an API key. So what is an API key? API key is a string which is the OAuth 2 proxy API key. You need this to connect to the Spotify account. For example, if you were to create resources on AWS, you will require access keys. Similarly, if you want to create playlist on Spotify, you need to have an API key here. So how do we create an API key? To create an API key, we are going to be following steps here present inside this documentation. And if you want this document, comment down in the comment section. For now, I'm going to go here in my VS Code. In the configuration option, we know we require an API key. So I'll put API underscore key equals to some value that we don't have right now, but we are going to be getting it from Spotify developer account. So let's go back to this documentation. We require an API key, but we don't have it. Along with API key, we also require client ID and client secret. So let's see how we can do it. To get this data, to get all these credentials, you need to go to the Spotify developer dashboard. So this is the Spotify developer account. I already have an account created. I'm also logged into it. You need to create an account and log in and then click on dashboard here. Once you click on this, you will see a screen like this where you don't have any apps created. I'm going to go ahead and click on create app here. For you to create an app, you need to put this details, and the details are already there in this documentation here. So you need to put the name, description, redirect URI, all those things. Let's copy the name from here. I'm saying my playlist through Terraform, and I'm going to put this here. For description, I'm using the same description, which is create multiple Spotify playlist, and paste it here. Website, we don't need to put the website, we need to put the redirect URI, which is localhost 27228 slash Spotify underscore callback. Copy this and paste it here. Once you do that, click on I understand and then click on save. This will go ahead and create a Spotify app for us, which we are going to use to get the client ID and client secret. We need this client ID and client secret to connect Spotify with Terraform and also get the API key. So you will get this client ID and client secrets in the settings inside your application. So click on settings here and you will see this is a client ID. I'm going to be using my own client ID and I will delete this application after I complete this video. So make sure to use your own client ID and client secret information. So we will need this and we need to store this inside a file. So let's go to VS Code and inside this I'm going to create a file named as .env. In this we need to create two variables, Spotify client ID and Spotify client secret. I already have them here, so you need to just copy and paste it. You get the values from the dashboard here inside your settings. Let's copy that and paste it here. No need to put them in double quotes. If you put that, you might get an error. So it's going to be simply as it is. Let's also copy the client secret and I'm going to copy that, paste it here. Okay. Now that we have a client ID and client secret stored inside .env file, we are ready to set up a Spotify Auth proxy, which is going to connect Spotify with our Terraform so that we can create playlist on Spotify. So we are going to be using a package known as Spotify Auth proxy, which is created by the same person who created the Spotify provider on Terraform. So let's go ahead and run this Docker container. The command here is this one, docker run -rm-it-p. This is the environment file, and we need to change the path for the environment file because the environment file is created in the same folder, so we are going to use .env instead of ./env. Let's copy that and paste it here. I'm going to change the file path, which is .env, because the .env is present inside this folder only. So let's press enter now, and this will give us the API key, also a link to authorize. So we have an API key that we need to put here inside the provider section, and also auth URL. Let's click on this and you will come to this page which says you agree with my playlist through Terraform, which is the application name that is going to be able to access all your Spotify data, activity, etc. So I'm going to say agree, and I will get a message saying authorization successful. You need to have this message, and that's when you will know that everything is working fine. So let's get the API key from the terminal and put it here inside API key. So it is not recommended to put the API key or any credentials directly. Instead, I'm going to create a variable named as API key, and I don't have any variable created, so I also create a file named as variables.tf. These are credentials, again not recommended to put directly in variables.tf. It should be inside tfvars file. So I'll create terraform.tfvars, and inside this I'm going to create a variable named as API key. So let's say API underscore key equals to the value which is here. So let's put this value and paste it here inside double quotes, because this is the variable of string type. Okay, let's put this here. I'm going to call this variable inside a variable block. So variable block is going to be API key and type string. Okay, now we have a variable with name API underscore key. We should specify underscore here. Now that we have our API key with us, we are going to run the first command, which is going to be terraform init. Make sure to not close this application, because we want this container to be running throughout the project in order to create playlist. So I'm going to go ahead and add another terminal here and run the command terraform init. This command will go ahead and install all these files necessary for this provider to run, and we get a message saying Terraform has been successfully initialized. So we are now finally ready to create our playlist using Terraform. So I'm going to create a file named it as playlist.tf, and if you have checked the provider documentation, you can see that you have resources here. So you have resources here where you can which you can use to create Spotify playlists, Spotify libraries, also Spotify library albums. For us, we are going to be creating a playlist, so we will be using a resource of a Spotify playlist type. Let's do it here. So I'm going to create a resource. It's going to be Spotify playlist, and the name of the playlist I want to keep is, let's say, Bollywood. Everyone loves Bollywood song. I'm going to create a playlist. Inside this resource we need something, so you can always check in the documentation below. You can see schema here. These are the required things, these are optional things. So we require a name of the playlist and also the tracks you want to add inside the playlist. These are all optional things. So I'm going to go ahead and add the name. So the name I want to keep is going to be, let's say, Bollywood. And to show you I don't have any playlist with that name, so let's go to my Spotify account here, and you can see I only have one playlist here, which is my recommendation playlist. No playlist with Bollywood or anything. Okay, let's go and create that. So for a track, I need to add a track. I don't know what song you like, but I'm sure everyone knows about the Tunic song, which is made popular by Speed. So let's search for Tunic song here. Tunic, which is this one by Daler Mehndi, and you can also see Azure Speed here. So let's use this song. For you to use this song, you need the ID here. Spotify has ID for every track they put on their platform, or every song that they put on their platform. So we need this ID here, and I'm going to put that ID inside tracks. This has to be a string or a list of strings. So I'll put this here. Now that we have this ready, I can go ahead and with running the command terraform plan, and it should show me that one thing is going to be created, which is this playlist here. So I'll say terraform plan command, and I got an argument saying track is not expected. Do you mean tracks? So it is not track, it is tracks, because it is a list of strings. Okay, that's right. I'm going to save it again and run the same command terraform plan. It will show me that one playlist is going to be created. The name of the playlist is Bollywood, and this is the track, which is the Tunic song, going to be added inside the Bollywood playlist. Let's run terraform apply command. Before I do this, let me show you I don't have any playlist with the name Bollywood.
You can see it's not there here. So let's go ahead and run Terraform apply now. I'll say Terraform apply -auto -approve, and let's press enter. You can see Bollywood playlist not creating, and it has now created in 1 second. Let's go back and check. So you can see now we have a playlist with the name Tunic. This is how you will create playlist on Spotify using Terraform. This is the power of DevOps. This is the power of Terraform. The only problem with this setup now is every time you want to create a playlist, you need to get the ID of the track. Maybe you don't know what the ID is, and there's no point of this automation if you are going to be getting the ID from Spotify. You can simply go ahead and create a playlist right from here. So instead of getting the ID from here, we are going to be using a data block. So what is data block in Terraform? So data block is used to fetch the data from the platform. In short, it's just used to get the information from Spotify to the code directly. So we are going to be using data blocks to get the ID of the tracks and create a playlist out of it. So in here, let's create another playlist. I'm going to be creating a playlist, let's say a rap playlist including all the songs of Eminem. So I'm going to create a data block first. So data block, we will be creating a Spotify search track. You can see in the documentation there are also data sources for data search track, data Spotify album, Spotify track, whatever you want. Okay, and this is how you can do it. So we are going to be searching a track based on the artist. So you can add name of the artist whichever you want to search for. So I'm going to be adding an artist name, let's say Eminem. Okay, once I have this here, I'm going to create another Spotify playlist. So I'll say resource is going to be Spotify playlist, and I will add the name as Slim Shady. Also the name of the playlist I want to put is Slim Shady. So let's put that here. And the tracks are going to be the data block, using the data block here. So the data block name, let's change this to Eminem. Name I want to put is Eminem here, and I want to put some songs of Eminem. So you need to put the tracks colon what track array do you want. So if you search here inside the artist, let's search for Eminem here, and you can see these are all the songs by Eminem. So you have Without Houdini, Without Me, all these songs. If you want to create a playlist out of these songs, you need to put the array of the songs. Let's say if you choose 0, you will get this song in your playlist. If you choose 1, you will get this song, you will get this song, depending on what you put here. So I'm going to put the arrays here. Let's say I want to put the first song, also the second one and the third one. So I'll say data block again I'll say data again, and then tracks 1.id, also tracks 2.id. This will go ahead and add 3 of the Eminem songs inside my Slim Shady playlist. So the tracks 2.id. I can put as many as I can, and I can also set the limit of how many songs I want inside here. So if I want to have 5 songs, and I can also do that. For now I'm going to save this, and let's run the command terraform plan. Let's see what will happen when I run terraform plan. It says one more playlist is going to be created, and the playlist is going to have these tracks. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on terraform apply -auto -approve, and this will go ahead and create a playlist which is created in 1 second. And now you see this is a playlist named as Slim Shady, which has Houdini, Without Me and Superman songs inside this playlist. So this is how you can create playlist using Terraform on Spotify. This is a very fun project, and I hope this will teach you Terraform concepts very easily. If you are able to complete this project, make sure to share it on LinkedIn, tag me, tag Terraform, tag HashiCorp, everyone. This project is originally present on HashiCorp documentation or HashiCorp learning platform. So if you search for create Spotify, you can see this is the documentation or the tutorial you can follow. This is exactly what we have done here. So you can also follow this. And if you look at this blog here, you can see follow our new tutorial using this here from the author and share your playlist for a chance to win a free HashiCorp t-shirt. So you can also get a HashiCorp t-shirt if you complete this project.
So this was our video on how to create Spotify playlists using Terraform. I hope this video was informative and it will help you learn Terraform concepts. If you have any questions, any doubt, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Like this video and subscribe to Cloud Champ. Thank you and have a good day.